Hello and welcome to another episode of our playthrough through King's Quest II, Romancing the Stones. This is the AGD Interactive Remake. Oh, and look at this. Right into a
Sister
cutscene.
Agatha, my dear. Tell me you have good news.
The king has arrived in Kalima, father.
That is not what I meant.
Yes. Well, he appears to be quite resourceful. It seems his reputation was not totally exaggerated.
He's still alive?
For now, but that will change soon, I think. The king has discovered that one of the gems he seeks is in the possession of a colleague of ours. Do you remember? Kaldor.
Yes. Is he still trustworthy?
Totally. Still sharp, and there's no questioning his loyalty. My humblest apologies, father, but would it not have been simpler for you to have dealt with Graham personally?
Fool! Imagine the ensuing chaos where Daventry's king murdered in his own land. How then would I be able to search for the item?
I see.
Failure is not an option.
Understood, father.
Keep me informed, preferably of good King Graham's death.
Okay, well, I was not expecting to start the episode with that, but basically, here's where we left off. This is the story of King Graham. I'm in this land of Kalima searching for three treasures. Once I find, or these three gems, the what is it? The air gem and the water gem and the death gem. And when I find all three, then I use them on this magic door of destiny, and then it sends me to this magic island where the princess is being held in this castle. So I have, so far, two of the gems. So the first one was this water gem I got under the water from King Neptune. The second one is this green air gem that I got up in the clouds in a couple episodes ago. And now I'm looking for, presumably, the red one, the death gem. And there is this swampy castle. It's been insinuated that the count there that used to rule the land has not been seen in many, many years. Now is probably a vampire. There's this church that's only open at night, and as it turns out, the monks there are werewolves, and they want me to kill the Dracula guy, the vampire guy, and so it's like a werewolves versus vampires thing. They gave me this silver cross necklace that I'm wearing. Grandma gave me this Dracula cloak that I'm wearing and this ruby ring that I'm wearing. So anyways, we are going to attempt to make our way to this castle. Now, in the original King's Quest II from way back when, so you access it through the swamp, and there was a like a Karen or whatever, who would like a ferry to get you across the swamp and into the castle area. And you had to be careful to not touch any, I guess, I don't remember when you get off or whatever, not to touch any thorns because they're poisonous. And presumably that's what the sugar cube is for. I just need to find it. It's right around here somewhere. Oh, come on, swamp. I know you're here. Meanwhile, I'm walking around in this black cloak like Dracula. Oops. So now I have this wooden stake and this mallet. If you can guess what. How could you use those against a vampire? But typically in these games, there's like an alternate method to killing the big bad monster. So I don't know if there's an alternate here or not. But we'll try. All right. Come on, I don't have a map, so I'm going off memory. But it's like, it's got to be right here. I lost the bull, huh? Okay. Then the entrance has got to be up here. Oh, I recall. North of Hagatha's cave. So up here. So when we started this episode, there was a cutscene with Hagatha and this like bad wizard guy or whoever's. Oh, come on, Graham. Good grief. It's got to be right here. So here's Hagatha, and then let's go north. All right, here we go. So let's save. See if there's anything new here when I go in.
It is simply an absolute pleasure to meet your own acquaintance.
Uh-huh. And I'm gonna die if I go in the swamp, right? Yep.
You feel the poisonous water. These coins each have the distinctive face of the first king. You have no reason. A tree lies half submerged, having long ago succumbed to the poisonous waters of the swamp. It is too heavy to move or carry around with you, and climbing onto it would not be productive. Considering that these plants are being kept alive through means other than nature, you think it unwise to disturb them.
Okay.
You read the Bible page again. Something wicked started war. Shame nobody ever saw.
Oh.
You read the something wicked started war. Shame nobody ever saw.
I just realized what that is. It's direction south. Everything is north, south, east, west. So
you read the something wicked
southwest,
started
southwest,
war.
south, north,
Shame
east,
nobody
south.
ever saw.
All right. Well, presumably there's a maze somewhere then. But like, what do I do here in the swamp? Do I have to like rub the ring or something? Or I'm already wearing the necklace.
You remove the cross.
No, we want to wear it.
You place the silver cross and chain around your neck.
Yeah, okay.
You remove the ruby ring.
Now let's wear it.
You are now wearing the beautiful ruby ring.
Oh, I can go here now. What's up? Sorry, what? Oh, awesome. Okay. I'll come take a look in a minute. Hello. Very cool. Okay, so we, alright, I didn't realize that I could go down here, so, aw, man. It's a maze. Okay, so here's how we get out. It's this Bible passage that we were just reading.
The paper is... You read something wicked started war. Shame nobody ever saw.
I didn't get a picture quick enough.
You read something wicked started war. Shame nobody ever saw.
Okay, southwest, southwest, south, north, east, west. Okay, so let's go. The problem is, well, hold on, let me just restore it. Okay, so south, west, south, west, south, north, east, south. Yeah? There's the castle. Rock and roll. We did it. That was cool. Alright. Well, that Bible passage with the clues worked. That's how you get not lost in here. Well, yeah. So, okay. So that looks like...
The shrouded ghoul looks very frightening. His hands are little more than claws, and his face is nearly completely hidden inside the hood of the shroud. He is standing in a small boat.
You want to say hi?
I was already waiting for like 10 seconds straight.
Oh, but nobody could see you until you walk in.
I know,
Come-
but I was already on camera. I
Oh.
was just like this.
Oh, hi. Can we talk to this guy?
Boatman, I need passage. I said...
I heard.
The ghoul's voice chills you to the bone. It speaks with a deep, resonating bitterness. You cannot make out a great deal of its face, but what you can see has the hairs on the back of your neck standing on end.
In life, I would row this boat for the master. Long ago was my untimely death in these waters, but still I remember many things. Laughter, tears, joy, pain.
Okay, so let me in.
May I cross, Sir Boatman?
You have come to raid the master's house. This I know, but care not about. You should be warned, though. The master is not what he once was. Never has this land known a kinder, more compassionate, and nobler ruler than he. But his fate has long since been decided. Down a dark path he now treads, and he feels naught for anyone nor anything save for one other. And even that is a rare trait for a Nosferatu.
You freeze. Neither the Door of Destiny nor Neptune mention this count as being undead.
Dude, we figured it out ahead of time. It didn't matter. All right.
If I may ask, Sir Boatman, how did the swamp come to be here? Is it natural?
No, the ground you stand upon was once farming land and dwellings for the peasantry.
How did it come to be like this?
A score of years passed after the master died, and a great morass opened up, covering the surrounding land with slime and poisoned water. Once rich and fertile, now it is no longer.
The Count has caused this?
It is believed so, for why else would his own castle be spared?
Ah, thank you, Sir Boatman.
Be careful right there on the windowsill, please.
The boatman has nothing more to say.
Okay, so can we get in the boat or what?
As you prepare to climb into the boatman extends his claw-like hand to you. Obviously, he no longer gives free rides.
Well, I mean, the coins has to be the right answer, right?
The boatman accepts your payment and motions for you to climb into the boat. The shrouded ghoul paddles across the toxic lake to the shore on the other side. The thorns and brambles are sharp.
In the original game, now, you got to be really careful not to touch these because they're all poisonous, and if you touch one, you die. It's...
Ouch! You feel the sharp brambles graze your skin. Your vision blurs and you begin to feel lightheaded. You feel a heavy coldness run through your entire body. Soon you are unable to stand. Finally, even your eyes become too heavy to keep open, and they close for the last time. After swallowing the magic sugar cube, you get a feeling of invincibility. The sharp thorns brush against your skin. However, instead of feeling intense pain, you only experience a slight tingling sensation. Evidently, the magic sugar cube did its job.
Good. Alright.
The ghosts waver, as if being threatened by even the slightest breeze, yet something holds them in place. It may be nothing more than an intensely strong determination or sense of purpose that keeps the spirits anchored to this world. You can't eat your way into the castle, and no one will hear you if you yell at it.
I'm trying to talk to the ghosts.
When you speak to the ghosts, they utter a mournful wail.
I'm trying.
The main entrance to the castle is a set of heavy wooden doors. It looks to be fairly solid. It also looks to be entirely unwelcoming. As you approach the ghosts wearing the black cloak, they seem to notice you, and then begin to drift away towards the cemetery. As you reach to push the massive doors open, you realize there are no handles. The only thing visible is a small keyhole, which slightly resembles a cross.
Well, can we go over to... There's a cemetery? Ooh, I can go to the cemetery.
Yeah, of course the keys are there.
Well, I think we have the key already, but...
The ghosts waver, as if being threatened. Kitty, 1500 to 1510. Sudden did the illness come upon sweet Kitty, no longer young. There is nothing more that can be done. Her lives are up. She's had her fun. As you step further into the cemetery, you can feel your life force slowly being sucked away by the disembodied spirits. The ethereal spirits drain the life force right out of your body. You tup with the spirits and find only the graves.
Well, that didn't work.
As you step,
Okay.
The ethereal. You tup with the spirits.
Is that not gonna work? I'm wearing the cross. Candlestick. Maybe I have to wait.
Susanna Somnia, 1195 to 1265.
Wearing a cross necklace.
He had put her to bed after she'd had supper, but forgot next morning to stir and wake up her. As you step further into the cemetery, you can feel your life force slowly being sucked away by the disembodied spirits.
Alright, so let's do that. Let's use our cross necklace as the key.
Having an idea, you push the crucifix into the cross-shaped keyhole. It fits. You hear a click, and the door unlocks. You push the heavy wooden door open, take a deep breath, and step nervously inside the castle entrance. The moment you enter the great hall of the castle, you begin shivering uncontrollably, and not just from the cold. This place has an air of death wherever you go. As if creeping around this huge castle was not enough, knowing full well that an undead creature resides here would unnerve even the most stout-hearted of adventurers. You feel desperate to get what you came for and anxious to leave as quickly as possible.
Alright, let's save in here because I'm pretty sure that we could die pretty easy.
The portraits on the wall depict the couple who once lived here. They look young and proud. Behind the mask of apathy that comes with aristocracy, there's a certain kindness in their eyes. There is no wood, and if
Oh, that's a fireplace.
expecting them to be filled with mushrooms or potions, think again.
Well, let's go explore.
Well, if it was on, you could have died from walking into it.
This marble bust must be of a past count. While it has some resemblance to the current one, the face looks markedly different from that of the town statue. The bust, being made of marble, is smooth and cold to the touch. The bust. This would appear to be the classic fiction section.
What?
I think you can interact with that later.
This would appear to be... These books pertain to the ever-expanding world of science. As you skim over the titles,
maybe,
you
I
see
don't
one
know.
that says, "Evidence of a spherical world." You shake your head. What will they think of next? This bookcase appears to recount the entire family history of the past counts of Kalima. The line apparently dates back many, many centuries. You are not interested in a family history lesson. Perhaps another time. Science has always been a controversial subject in your mind. You'd rather hang on to the perception of the world that you were brought up with. It is a collection of literature dealing with the arrival of the first mages and what became of their descendants, who were and are all mages themselves. Evidently, the Count must be one such descendant, hence his apparent interest in the subject. Presumably, these pillars add support to the bookcases. Considering how huge said bookcases are, you're glad the pillars are in no danger of toppling. Even though you would like to read up on how Daventry's own first king arrived with the others of his kind, you have more important things to do right now. Even though you have no interest in any of these books right now. You have...
Maybe I can light my candle now.
You hold your candle up to the candelabra flame. It catches. Your candle is now lit.
Well, let's go look around. Oh, is this going to be a big maze?
This is just a small storage room. Rows of red wine barrels are neatly stacked and piled along the wall. At least you think they contain wine. Seeing nothing else of real importance, you head back into the dining room. The staircase beyond is very dark. Fortunately, your candle provides just enough light to see where you are going. The lid of the beautifully carved coffin is closed.
Let's come back here then, actually. I want to do that last. Let's go back upstairs. Okay, so that's interesting. It makes it seem like if I didn't light the candle there, I would not have been able to go down those stairs.
An old shovel rests against the stone wall. It looks well used.
Let's put it in our unlimited pocket.
You take the shovel into your possession. The window looks out onto the island far below. Through it, you see that the bricks of the castle might provide some footholds if you are inclined to go climbing.
Wait, for real? We could climb out?
You are not desperate enough to climb out the window. you can exit through the front door.
Okay, well...
The lid of the thick black cloak that you are wearing hampers your efforts to lift the coffin lid. Try removing the cloak first. You are pleased your adventuring clothes and hat still fit you. Life as a king hasn't ruined your shape. Yet. You test the... Hey, control yourself. Hey, control...
Well, how do I...
Hey, You are... You test the... Hey,
I mean, how do I take the cloak off?
You remove the black cloak again.
Okay.
Nervously, you lift the heavy lid of the elegant coffin.
What do we see?
You peek into its red satin interior. The coffin is unoccupied, and you feel relief wash over you. As you prepare to look inside the coffin,
King Graham, I presume.
You turn on your heel. There, blocking the only exit from this dismal room, stands the Count. His skin is pale, his eyes jet black. He wears a black cloak nearly identical to the one that you possess.
You know me?
Ah, yes indeed. Sister Hagatha alerted me to your arrival, dear king.
You don't feel like wearing the cloak anymore.
Well, let's show him the ring.
In an instant, you are flat against the wall. The Count has you pinned so well you can't move a muscle, much less put up a defense. You can feel the Count's iron-cold hand on your throat. You have barely seconds before the inevitable happens. With difficulty, you manage to loosen the ruby ring from your finger and drop it to the floor. The Count's eyes dart to it quickly, then flash angrily back to you.
Where did you get that?
The elderly woman who lives in a house to the south of here, near the beach. She gave it to me for helping her.
The Count regards you for a moment. His dark eyes bore unendingly into yours, and you feel as if your very soul is bare.
What do you know of her?
She is not well.
I know. Do you think I am not aware of that?
You are sweating profusely. Hopefully this vampire doesn't find the odor appetizing.
Night is the most dangerous of times for my mortal family. I have kept constant vigil over my wife for many years, so that from the darkness, no harm would come to her. When her time comes, we will be together forever.
I think tonight will be the night. I have seen her this very eve. I did what I could to help her, but I do not think it was enough.
As you watch the giant bat fly out of the room, you realize with dread that the Count has confiscated your crucifix. Without it, you are trapped in this castle. Now what are you going to do?
Interesting. So in the original, like, you go in, the Dracula is sleeping, and you use the stake and the mallet to, like, just straight up murder him.
You peer into the ornate coffin. Finding it unoccupied, You see that the interior is lined with shiny red satin. A beautiful satin pillow adorns the interior of this ornate coffin. At long last, you have located the final gem, the Death Gem. You breathe deeply, reach out, and take the stone in your hands. It is ice cold to the touch, but you don't care. This is the last thing you need to unlock the door of destiny. Now all you have to do is get out of here. The torch helps very little to illuminate this damp and dimly lit room.
I mean, I guess we don't use the mallet then? Oops. Or maybe there's alternate solutions. I'll have to look it up later. Like if we went in there and he was asleep, we just kill him, right? But maybe it's since we did the stuff with the old lady, then we don't have to.
Seeing no other possible escape route, you climb onto the ledge and carefully lower yourself outside, hoping to find a decent foothold. It is a long way down. You are Suddenly, you hear a swishing noise in your ear. It's joined by two others. You instinctively try to brush whatever it is away, but in doing so, lose your hold on the bricks and fall backwards. Time slows as you fall, and your world turns black.
Okay.
Our guest has awoken, my love.
Ah, good evening, dear king. I do not believe we have been properly introduced. I am Count Kaldor, former lord of the realm of Colima. May I present my wife, Countess Lavidia?
A pleasure to see you again.
In gratitude to you for alerting me to my wife's grave condition, I took the liberty of preparing you a dish. I thought you might be hungry after your harrowing adventure at my window. You will forgive us if we do not join you. Our tastes differ from yours, do they not, my darling?
You shudder to think what different tastes actually means, but for some reason you note that you can no longer hear any rats squeaking in the distance.
Indeed, so much to become accustomed to.
You shall have all the time that the world has to share to grow accustomed to such things. Well, perhaps 30 years. Should the father locate the item by then, there might not be enough world left for anyone afterwards.
As this father, to do is why you frequently went abroad, always with that cloak of yours?
Most certainly. But I think that my affiliation with him and his association has come to a close. My obligations to them took me away from my beloved too often. I do not wish to repeat that mistake.
You are forgiven, my love.
Their attention, which seemed to have wavered momentarily, now redirects back to you.
Well, well, well. What to do with this one?
What were you going to do with him?
Kill him. I had quite clear instructions from Hagatha, who had apparently received them from the Father himself.
But if you are not, as you say, affiliated with his association anymore,
They both share a knowing smile.
tell us, King Graham, why are you here in Colima?
You take a deep breath, trying to ignore the fact that you are the only one capable of doing so, and relate your story of the vision in the magic mirror and your quest to find the 3 gems of nature. The Count and Countess exchange cryptic smiles.
Romancing the stone.
Indeed.
Obviously, that was a private joke, as you did not understand it.
So you search for the one with which you would share the rest of your life. On that I cannot fault you, nor on your intentions here. Therefore, I can forgive the trespassing. However, there is the matter of the dark gem you wish to remove from my castle. I place a deal before you. I am looking for a magnificent sapphire-encrusted tiara. It is a valuable family heirloom and has been on this estate for centuries. This castle and its estate are old, though. It could be virtually anywhere, in any number of hiding places. I suspect there are many that even I am not aware of. I wish to present this tiara to my wife as a gift to commemorate the eternity we shall spend together. If you can find it and bring it to me before sunrise, then I will give you the gem you seek and your freedom.
You nod, unable to believe that you have virtually been ushered away from death's door just so you can run an errand for a couple of vampires. You do not want to think about the consequences if you fail to meet the deadline.
Okay, and I'm going to take a super quick break and return in just a moment. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to take a real quick break, and it's cold in here, so I got a hat. Anyways, look at all this yummy food.
You seem to have lost your appetite for eating at the moment.
Okay.
Pardon my asking, but as the Countess of this realm, I presume you have lived in this castle before now?
Yes, that is so.
Then how did you come to live in that old house by the sea?
After my husband died, I continued to live in the castle for a time. I watched my newborn son grow into a man, marry, and have a child of his own.
Possum.
Yes. Shortly after her birth, however, my son and his wife both befell a tragic end at the hands of...
The Countess looks pained and appears unable to continue.
I apologize if I have caused you to relive your grief.
A vampire cannot truly feel grief, but perhaps my wife still recalls hers. I shall continue for her, if you so wish.
Well, yeah, tell me the story.
Please, if I may know, how were your son and daughter-in-law lost to you?
They were slain by the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood?
You have met them at the church.
Your mind reels, so that is the connection.
Yeah, the werewolves.
Why would the Brotherhood kill your heirs? Oh.
As you have just guessed, the Brotherhood wish an end to the reign of my family. Why else would they give you the means to penetrate my domain, so that you could do their dirty work for them?
The Cross Key.
Exactly. Stolen from me through stealth, and their own brand of magic. The Counts of Colima have all descended from a single bloodline. We have always been partial to change, as opposed to the stagnating status quo of the Brotherhood. Over the last few decades, the Brotherhood have tried to dispose of my family as best they could. That which I am now was brought about by them. They were the ones who set the monstrous, infected bat upon me. Long have I cursed my ineptitude. I should have used magic to defend myself.
Do not be so hard on yourself, my dear. I remember that night well. That hideous creature gave you no chance.
Perhaps. But I should have awoken from my dark sleep sooner. Then I would have been able to protect our beloved son and his wife, and you would not have been forced to flee the castle, to live out your days in that wretched old house, under a false identity.
It was not so bad a time. Dear little Possum loved it. I hope she will be as happy in her new home. She has a new life now, with no reason to fear any more.
This Brotherhood, are they real monks?
They were once, but something happened to them. Local folklore would have you believe that Weirwood Forest is a host to certain entities, spirits of the wild they are called.
And what of them?
I believe the monks encountered these spirits. What occurred specifically is beyond anyone's knowledge but their own. But it is evident that the men were given the ability to transform themselves. Unfortunately, their minds were apparently transformed also. They began to believe they were destined to rule, and since have presented great danger to myself and my family.
So the danger you face is not a result of some decades-old feud?
Not at all, dear king, though history will likely reflect such. But, to answer your question, the members of the Brotherhood are no longer the goodly monks they once were. They do not represent their fellow brethren well.
Interesting.
The Countess has nothing more to say to you at the moment.
So, I have until just before sunrise to retrieve this tiara?
That is correct.
And if I am unable to before that time?
The Count's eyes glint red as he looks directly into your own.
For your own sake, I shall hope that you are successful.
You bravely suppress a shudder. It seems clear that you are not off the hook yet.
Okay. Well.
You see a young woman sitting on the dusty floor. She has a book in her lap entitled Little Red Riding Hood.
I wish I could read this story. All the pretty words. Whatever do they say?
What?
The book tells the story of a young girl who met a wolf in the forest.
The young woman's head snaps up. Her black eyes drill into your own. You gasp as you realize you are looking at yet another vampire. Just how many has the Count made tonight? The young woman's lips transform from hungry to, fortunately, pleasant recognition.
So you are the guest of my grandfather's house. I was hoping I would meet you again.
The woman is startlingly beautiful, but in an eerie, unnatural way. You find yourself unable to speak for a moment. She does look somewhat familiar, but from where?
Oh, my handsome gentleman does not recognize me?
Should I?
You remember the basket, the soup?
With a start, you recognize the young woman. She's grown and matured considerably since you last saw her. The little girl, Possum, has been transformed completely into this. She has traded her small ruby cloak for a dazzling satin robe of the same color.
Are you unhappy with my appearance?
No, it's just that you have me at a disadvantage. I do not know your real name.
Anastasia.
A beautiful name.
Yes, 'twas one of the few things my parents left me before they died. They're probably buried somewhere on this island, as a matter of fact. What do you seek here?
You explain your so far unsuccessful attempt to locate the tiara. The young woman looks thoughtful for a moment, then suddenly snaps her fingers. A discarded pile of books shift aside from the floor, and a single black book is revealed underneath. She appraises the black book with indignant incomprehension, then holds it out towards you. You take the book from Anastasia's hand.
I do not suppose that has anything to do with it, but it must be about something important.
You open the book and are surprised to discover not pages, but a hollowed-out section in which sits a silver key. The key's handle resembles the shape of a sleeping child. There also appears to be something written on the back cover of the book.
Okay, what does it say?
In the hollow, you can see that the inside back cover has been written on. Some words have been scrawled onto the paper. They are faded, but still mostly legible.
If treasure you seek, dear to my heart, tales of fiction is where you must start. Find first the beauty with stepsisters 2, then visit the huts that the big bad wolf blew. The girl with no flock will usher your way to the little old man who spins gold out of hay. Those 2 star-crossed lovers shall be your last guide. They'll lead you to riches that pirates did hide. What you earnestly seek shall now truly be yours. They'll get it part wrong, and you'll be greeted by maws. Alright, I'm gonna take a picture here so we can find these books.
The writing scrawled on the back cover reads, "If treasure you seek, dear to my heart, tales of fiction is where you must start. Find first the beauty with stepsisters 2, then visit the huts that the big bad wolf blew. The girl with no flock will usher your way to the little old man who spins gold out of hay. Those 2 star-crossed lovers shall be your last guide. They'll lead you to riches that pirates did hide. What you earnestly seek shall now truly be yours. They'll get it part wrong, and you'll be greeted by maws."
Well, this is the fiction section.
This would appear to be the classic fiction section.
Let's do this thing. I guess I should probably save it first. Oh god, there's tons. Alright, so book 1 is the Beauty with Stepsisters 2 was Cinderella. Alright.
Cinderella.
Alright, next one is The Huts That the Big Bad Wolf Blew. I'm looking for Three Little Pigs.
The Three Little Pigs.
Okay, next is The Girl with No Flock. That's Little Bo Peep, right? You have to remember that Rumpelstiltskin. Okay. There's Little Bo Peep. The next clue is the little old man who spun gold out of hay. That's Rumpelstiltskin. And then it says the two star-crossed lovers will be your last guide. That's Romeo and Juliet, which all the Shakespeare stuff is up here.
Romeo and Juliet. A new book has appeared on the third shelf down. Treasure Island.
Huh.
You've located the correct book. You pluck it from the shelf and read its title, Treasure Island. What is this? There seems to be a lock binding the cover shut. The keyhole requires a small, thin key.
Gasp, we have one of those. Wait, what is that?
The shovel
the
has
shovel.
a wooden handle with a thick metal spade on the end. It is a shiny silver key. It is a leather-bound book entitled Treasure Island. It has a brass lock which binds the contents shut. The key fits perfectly into the lock. You turn it and hear a soft click. The book is now open.
Awesome. What's in it?
Skimming through the book, you find that a map has been sketched onto the last page. Close scrutiny reveals it is a top-down layout of the castle and its surrounding grounds. According to this, the tiara has been buried near one of the graves. You shudder, hoping that this is not going to be a case of digging all night while trying to avoid unearthed zombies. There's also a small piece of writing near the bottom. A date of fate can be found with a first, a second, and a double of nothing.
First, second, double nothing. Was that 1200? 1200? I'm just going to write that down.
How do you feel about what the Count has done to you?
I am not sure. I suppose I should be grateful.
Grateful?
Yes, if he had left me as I was, I would have faced the same danger that claimed the lives of my parents. The murderers hunt my family still. We will not be completely safe until they are gone. At least I now need not fear anything that prowls by night.
True enough. And if you can avoid daylight altogether for the rest of eternity, you will be fine.
You have nothing else to say to Anastasia right now.
I wish only one thing as payment for helping you find that book.
Of course.
Would you be so kind as to take this bracelet and place it on my mother's grave? I believe she wanted me to have it while I was alive. Now, it seems no longer appropriate to keep it. Thank you. I must retire now. It will not be long before sunrise. Good night, Graham.
Good night, Anastasia.
The bracelet looks like it would fit a small wrist. It is a circlet of diamonds surrounded by beautiful sapphires. As you step further into the cemetery, you suddenly find yourself unable to move. The ethereal spirits drain the life force right out of your body. You tup with the spirits and find...
Okay, well... I mean... How do I get past them? Do I have... Something that will get past the spirits.
Susanna Somnia, as you step, you suddenly...
Okay.
The ethereal... You tup with the spirits and...
I don't have the cloak anymore. Can I wear this thing?
The glittering bracelet is too small for your wrist.
Okay, well, how do I ward off the ghosts? I mean, they're not enchanted, right?
The ghosts are... The ghost...
What would they be interested in? Not the money,
The
right?
ghosts... The ghost... The ghost... Don't you know that... The ghost... You'd really prefer not to inspect the unhygienic cloth in closer detail. The ghost...
The aging potion? That doesn't make sense.
The ghost...
The gems? I don't know why.
The ghosts...
Yeah. The needle? What do we need a needle for?
The ghost... The ghost... The ghost... The ghost... There's no... The ghost... The ghost...
Well, let's, it's been an hour. Let us, call this an episode and then pick up, another one so that it just doesn't get too long. Thanks for joining me, and in the next one, we'll continue trying to get this puzzle sorted out.